Way to avoid SSH connection timeout and freezing of GNOME Terminal. When I connect via SSH to certain servers, it timeouts and freezes the terminal, doesn't accept input, doesn't disconnect, can't Control-C to kill the SSH process or anything. This is in Ubuntu's GNOME Terminal, though it seems to be pausing the terminal input/output and doesn't affect the operation of the GNOME Terminal software itself. So less a bug with GNOME Terminal than an annoying inconsistency with SSH. So, is there a way to prevent/regain the terminal from SSH connections that have timed out?
SSHD, the server, closes the connection if it doesn't hear anything from the client for a while. You can tell your client to send a sign of life signal to the server once in a while. The configuration for this is in the file ~/.ssh/config. To send the signal every 4 minutes to remote host, put the following in your ~/.ssh/config. This is what I have in my ~/.ssh/config. To enable it for all hosts use. Also make sure to run chmod600.ssh/config, because the config file must not be world readable.
Press Enter, one after the other to disconnect from a frozen session. The section Escape Characters in the SSH man page explains the underlying details.
Even though this is not a direct answer to your question, it is highly related to the problem you have. Instead of trying to keep the connection alive, all connections eventually die. You can use terminal multiplexers, like Screen and tmux, that keep the session alive in the background even if your terminal gets disconnected. Essentially, when you log in into the SSH server, you immediately run Screen, which will create and attach a new session. Then you go ahead and do your work with the shell as you would normally do. Now if the connection gets dropped, when you can get back online and reconnect to the server over SSH, you get a list the current sessions with. To reattach to a session, where session is the PID or a session name, you will be reconnected to your session and you can continue from where you left off. You can even detach the session and reconnect from home to pick up from the exact point where you left off. To detach the session, you use CA followed by CD, that's Ctrl+A, and then Ctrl+D. There is simple online tutorial as well. Using Screen and tmux on remote servers is considered a best practice and is highly recommended. Some people go as far as to have Screen as their default login shell, so when they connect they immediately start a new Screen session.
Try appending O server alive interval equals 30 to your connection string. 30 means 30 seconds and can of course be adjusted.
I fjor vant 2 support-brysjannel, Prater kom supersubscribing.